Okay, great. Let's kind of do a little recap. If you can take a look at the main. One of the last challenges that I have right now is to get the last phase of this market done, where once a stock sells out of its IPO and a buyer wishes to buy it, he or she must buy that stock from the for sale market. And these are the holdings that are for sale. And so that's where we want to get right now. Now, what I've done right now is we've created the market, we've created the buyers, and we've sent the market or a copy of the market to each of the buyers so they can build their portfolio. And what I'm doing right now to prove that that's taken place is I've done a try-catch block where I've said, okay, for every stock that's inside of the market, go ahead and display the price history. And what that's been doing, if you see price history, this is in the stock, it'll actually show how the price has changed. And if we can just display that, the pricing is kind of displayed. So let's say this is one of the stocks right here, and this is the stock LJCP. And the price for LJCP changes about 4 different times. First it goes to 630, then it goes to 680, then 688, then 744. So we're showing that the price is actually fluctuating. And for the rules that we've done, it's actually fluctuating upward. Now, I had a very smart student email me over the weekend and said, hey, Mr. Bund, could we just have the stock fluctuate in a random way so that it goes up or down? And I said, well, that's brilliant. I think what we want to do here is make the price go up every time a transaction's done, because that's more like how the market works, where if there's demand, then the seller actually ups the price, and when there's a lack of demand, they drop the price. So you can feel free increasing that price. We have some very basic rudiments of the market built in, and you can see that Doopy, that's a great stock, you should definitely buy Doopy, is going up very slightly, 0.05 points. So that's working. Now I hope you don't mind if I scrub upward. And so I know that there's these stocks, the pricing is happening, and that price increase is taking place. So let's go up there and let's cancel that right now. And then another thing that I'm doing right here is I'm saying, well, if I go to the buyer, build random portfolio, another thing that I'm fooling around with here is I'm saying, let's say you're gonna make a transaction. Right before you call sell off winners, you're actually going to change the IPO. So you're going to take the standing IPO, and then you're going to take that standing IPO and you're going to minus a certain amount of change. And the change is simply the amount of stock that was purchased, which is just an integer, which is just the allocated price, per transaction divided by the current price. And that gives you an integer value, and that's the amount of stock that you end up purchasing. And that subtracts from the IPO. You start with a certain block of shares, then that IPO goes down after a certain amount of time. And so that IPO is shifted. So what I want to study, because our price was so effective here, the price is going up, meanwhile the IPO quantity is going down, and I wanted to print out, well, here's what the new IPO is, and here's what the current IPO is. So given that that activity at the tail end of build random portfolio, I'm going to go ahead and try Menor at this point, because what I found is that I'm having trouble adjusting the IPO quantity. Oh no, actually that's actually happening. I'm sorry. Check this out. It's being adjusted very, very incrementally. So the IPO quantity is originally, 12 million, 12.5 million shares, and then it goes down literally just 1 share. And to me, that's just not, maybe that's what happened in the transaction, but really what we should see is we should see the IPO minus the number of shares that was sold. And you can see in most cases here, the IPO quantity is not changed. And so what I want to figure out is why the price is so elegantly being increased, but the IPO quantity is not. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away for a little bit and I'm going to study why this change value is not working great. And so maybe what I should say, IPO quantity is originally, and then I want to say IPO quantity plus will be decreased change. And change here is just the number of stock purchased. And I wonder, why that's failing. Because really I just want to subtract change from the IPO quantity. And so the problem solving that I'd like to go through in order to help you finish this, and I'll say the IPO quantity MBT now be decreased is now IPO quantity will be decreased. And so I'm going to work through this so that I can subtract the IPO quantity, because ultimately what I want to do, and I'm going to get back to you in a sec, ultimately what I want to do is once a stock sells out of its IPO or reaches IPO 0, once the IPO quantity of a given stock is equivalent to 0, then I could say, okay, now I'm no longer going to buy from the IPO market. I'm actually going to buy from this for sale market. And I proved in a video just a moment ago that the for sale market is quite good right now. So if I uncomment that and I just kind of let that work a little bit, we have a pretty good for sale market that's happening. So you can see this is the contents of the for sale market. So we're transitioning from an IPO market to a marketplace of holdings quite nicely. And I want to speed that along so that actually new buyers will actually buy bargains from the for sale market. So I want to work on that. So when I get back to you in the next video, we're going to see if we get some progress on that. And that should help you to round out project 2. Okay, over and out.